Everyone, this is Barbara back again talking to you about women's self-defense with a particular emphasis on sexual assault prevention. What we're going to go over here now is the statistics, the who, when, where, and how of sexual assault, particularly here in San Diego, California, which is where I live. We have a population of about 3 million people. I've been dealing with the sex crimes division of San Diego County for many years now. I want you to know that not only do these statistics apply year after year in San Diego, the same consistent statistics, but these are really national statistics as well. And so when you look at percentiles, you'll see that this isn't just for San Diego County. It's for really any county here in the United States of America. It'll make more sense as we continue. And so let's go ahead and do so. I talked to you about the statistics because I want you to know when you're more likely to be a target. Does that mean that you are to just stay home and be scared and, oh my gosh, this is meant to scare you? Absolutely not. I do not believe in that 1 minute. These statistics are just to inform you so that you can go forward and make choices for your own life and how you want to live. So I just want to be really clear about that. Okay, let's continue. So in San Diego, we have between 700 and 1,300 assaults every year, again, for a population of about 3 million. Very importantly, and that's really what you know, is that the majority of people that are being sexually assaulted are women compared to men, although unfortunately that is really changing, especially on college campuses and also in terms of transgender people. Next, this is a very, very important slide. Oh my gosh, please, if you don't leave with anything else, leave with this. 74%, and actually this was kind of a low year because it's usually more about 80% of perpetrators are known to the victim or the survivor. It's not some stranger jumping out from behind a bush. It's usually someone that you know. And so if you know someone and they make you feel uncomfortable in any kind of way, if you're getting certain kinds of, vibrations, please tune into that and believe in it. All right. 55% of assaults with a known perpetrator, and this is a little confusing, means that it happens with an acquaintance or a brief encounter. So, of those 75%, 55% of those 75 is someone that maybe you just met. It could be maybe at a bar or a social event or a meetup or a concert or what have you. So it's someone that might be you might have had a brief encounter with, like seen them before. Again, tune into those feelings that you have about these people. And then also an acquaintance, someone that you don't know particularly well, someone where trust has not been earned, but nonetheless an acquaintance. So again, most sexual assault happens with someone that you know, someone you've laid eyes on, someone you've talked to, had a brief encounter with. It's not really the strangers jumping out from behind a bush, although that happens sometimes as well. Okay, 88% of the brief encounters, the perpetrators are known for under 12 hours. Again, this brings home the point that if you are at a social event of any time and you've just met someone and they give you a very strange vibration, you feel that there's just something creepy about this person, the way they look at you, the way they talk at you, please know that this is when sexual assault can occur. And I always encourage people, and we'll get into this in just a moment, to not be alone with someone until trust has been earned. Okay, 80% of assaults happen to people between the ages of 18 and 39 years of age. And why is that? That's because, of course, that's when you're out and about and enjoying your life and going to social events and meeting people. Oh my gosh, please continue to do that. But just know that between the ages of 18 and 39, that is when 80% of assaults, not just in San Diego, but throughout the United States, happen. 88, this is another very, very important statistic. 80% of assaults happen in your home, his home, a car, or a motel hotel. So again, I encourage you, please think about, maybe I don't want to go and let somebody into my house unless trust has been earned. And similarly, maybe you might want to decide to go and not go into someone's house until trust has been earned. Same with a car, same with a motel hotel. Very, very important statistic there. 71% of assaults happen between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. And actually, the majority of assaults, I mean, let's be clear, really happen after the time of 10 p.m. That's been my experience, and look at statistics over time. So most assaults don't happen during daytime. They're mostly in the evening. The number of suspects, this is an important one. It's kind of what we already think about, is that 85% of the time, it's one suspect with one person. Sometimes there can be more than one suspect, but that only happens about 9 or 10% of the time. And so what does this tell us? This lets us know that really sexual assault happens with men raping women. We're talking about the majority of time in your home or his home, one-on-one. And so this also tells us that there is safety in numbers. This is another important slide. 95% of the time, a suspect doesn't use a weapon. They just threaten you. They threaten you that if you don't comply, they're going to hurt you. Even with a stranger assault, only 85% of the time 85% of the time, the suspect does not have a weapon. It's just a threat that they're going to hurt you. And so if you resist with your assertion, chances are you can stop that assault before it happens. And we will be talking about that in much more detail later on. This is a very interesting slide. And what this tells us is that not always, but most of the time, sexual assault happens in the same race. So in other words, the majority of the time, a white person will be assaulting a white person. A Hispanic person will be assaulting a Hispanic person. And the reason why is because sexual assault, remember, it's not about sex. It's about power. It's about control. It's about domination. And a lot of these perpetrators go and play these out with people that remind them perhaps of their family of origin. 69% of suspects are between the ages of 16 and 35 years of age. Moving on. 64% of assaults happen when the survivor is using alcohol, and 21% when drugs are being used. And again, is this to go and say, oh my gosh, if you have been sexually assaulted, to blame yourself, oh, I shouldn't have been drinking or I shouldn't have been using drugs? As I've mentioned and will continue to mention throughout my self-defense seminars, it is never, ever the survivor's fault, no matter what is going on. The only should in self-defense is that men should not be raping women. But certainly when alcohol and drugs are involved, there is a definite higher propensity that sexual assault is going to happen. And 83% of suspects are under the influence of alcohol, and 43% are under the influence of drugs when a sexual assault happens. So maybe it's something to consider. Maybe not drinking or using any type of drugs with someone unless trust has been earned. But again, it's up to you and how you want to live your life. So what have you learned? Sexual assault happens mostly to women between the ages of 18 to 39, one-on-one, with someone you know, in your home or his home, really between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., with no weapons, where drugs and alcohol are involved. And again, the only should is that perpetrators should not assault. It is never the survivor's fault. And these statistics are to inform you, not scare you. Please don't let them scare you. Just know the facts. Be brave, be fearless, enjoy your life. Perpetrators, they have delinquent behavior. A lot of them have prior convictions, have been molested or victimized, and are a sociopath. And let's be clear, what is a sociopath? A sociopath is someone where they have been conditioned somehow in their life. They've had experiences in their life that have created a feeling where they don't have a lot of compassion for other people. Remember, it's about control, it's about power and humiliation. It is not about sex. Also, gosh, how many times do we hear that sexual assault, oh, well, it's just so overreported? No, that's just not true. It's underreported. Only about 1/3 of sexual assaults are reported to the police. And individuals in college age, only 20% report. And those that are not students, only 32% of people report. The elderly only report 28% of the time when they are sexually assaulted. Members of the military, 40% of female victims, and unfortunately, we're seeing an increase in male victims, and only 10% of them report as well. And why is that? It's because people feel ashamed. They feel it's their fault. No, I'm here to tell you, don't be ashamed. It's not your fault. Please, please report it. Women in college, unfortunately, are at a high risk. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted while they're in college. And, 90% of sexual assault victims on college campuses don't report the assault. A lot of times it's because there's confusion. I said no, but he did it anyways. Is that assault? Yes, it is. And also, I want you to know that the dorm room is seen as the bedroom. I know when I was in college, I thought, oh, well, gosh, it's just a place to hang out. No, the dorm room is really seen as the bedroom. Yeah, sexual violence can have really long-term effect on people that have been assaulted. And I just I really encourage you, if you or someone that you know has been assaulted, it might be a good idea to go talk to somebody. Just go and tell them how you feel. Uh, it's a really good idea. I've worked as a counselor for many years of my life, and talk therapy is such a wonderful way to express feelings that maybe you wouldn't otherwise. Help is available all the time for you. You can call the National Sex Assault Hotline. They're open 24 hours a day. Here's their number. And finally, be assertive, be empowered, live your life. Oh my gosh, please do. Just know the statistics and know when you're more likely to be a target. So much more to cover. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and see you at the next episode.